welcome to My Own Worst Enemy. Dark City Games has just released Operation Barbarossa Army Group Center, and they were kind enough to send me a preview copy of this, or actually a first look copy, I guess, because like I said, it has been released. It is at their website now. It is on sale for, I believe, $13.99 US, which is not bad for what you get. We've looked at these combat boots. This is the Combat Boots series. So we've looked at the Combat Boots series before with Guadalcanal and I think it was Operation Battle Axe is what we looked at last time. So this is in that series, and let's take a look at what we get. I don't think you'll find too much different because it is in the same series. I can tell her off the bat that it looks like they've got a nice logo on the rulebook now, so that's that's an improvement. And you know, here the designer is George Dew, and the board and the pieces are done by George Dew. Play testers. So basically, let's get this out of the way. Basically, you're going to get the exact same thing you got in the previous versions. The rules are the same, the fire rules, and in this one we'll see in just a second as we look at the map, the range bands are back, which I happen to love. The way it simulates pieces in the distance coming onto the battlefield works really good, and we'll take a look at that. So, but the rules are the same. The rule book is the same. It still has the examples of play. It's nice paper. Not a lot of rules. It's short and to the point, which you want in a game like this. It's a very fast playing game, and not super detailed. It has dog fights like the previous games, and all these games usually, this is the third rule book that we've looked at, and they tend to all have the same rules listed, even though there may not be you may not have all the components from one game in another. So for instance, this game does have aircraft in it, and if you got a game that didn't, you'd still get these rules. So that's kind of a theme for this, which is good because you can actually mix and match these units, I believe, because like I said, it does play the same. You do get the solitaire rules. There's not a lot to the solitaire rules. It's basically, it kind of tells you how you should be playing the other side, whether you're trying to just hold, defend, or you're trying to overrun or just engage. And each scenario will tell you, how to handle the other side if you are playing solitaire. And of course, you can play the solitaire any way you want, right? So you can, I don't know, we've talked about it before, but if you don't think this is enough, you can, come up with your own solitaire play. But this is enough just to, all the information is out. There's nothing hidden. So this basically reminds you as to, if say the Germans, they're trying to hold on, that's exactly what you want to do in this scenario. And of course, you do get a lot of scenarios. I think you get the beginner battle, and then, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say you get 8 scenarios, so that's good. And this is Operation Barbarossa. So it is the Germans are moving on towards Moscow. And of course, we all know how that worked out. Maybe you can recreate history, maybe not. The scenarios are, as before, laid out in, I believe, chronological order, so you can play through them that way. And then there are designer notes. As usual, well, actually, I thought I saw designer's notes. There's a glossary. Let's see. I could have sworn I saw designer's notes in here when I was reading through this the first time. But maybe not. Well, yeah, they're right there. Designer's notes, page 18. And so there's like a page and a half of designer's notes. I thought I was going crazy there for a second. So, the designer note, this is good. The designer notes, it's good because George walks you through what he was thinking when he designed this game and the choices that he made, and maybe a little bit of the history of what was going on with Operation Barbarossa. So again, nice rule book. Let's take a look at the counters. And again, you get the counter sheet is just a small number of counters, but they are printed on this heavy cardstock. So I will, what I will do is I will show you how we'll look at a combat example real quick, just a reminder is how to do that. And I'll cut a couple of these out and show you how nice they look when they're cut out. To see here, you can see the aircraft again. So let's zoom in just a little bit and let you take a look at the counter sheet. So they are nice counters. You have, like with previous games, you have your the same stats are on here, your type of weapons, your attack and defense strength, and your movement and that sort of thing. So that has not changed. Like I said, I believe these are all interchangeable with the previous editions of the Combat Boots series games. And this is the map. And again, you're not getting a super huge map here, but it's big enough to do what big enough to run the scenarios that you get. So this one is more than previous editions. There's a lot more urban fighting here, so you can tell that these buildings are here. There is a little bit of terrain. Looks like some forest there, and some, I guess these would be entrenchments. And you know, as always, you have your quadrants of the map. Scenarios will tell you which quadrants you should be using and the where the units should be coming on. And here's those range bands that I had mentioned. Range band 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you look at a unit, it will tell you how far into a range band that the unit can fire. Here you can see that the armored unit has an underline under the 1, meaning that he could fire into the adjacent range band. So really neat. Like I said, I like the way they do that. So let's take a quick look again, just as a reminder of how combat worked in this system. And so let's take a look at, I have clipped out 2 counters here. So, and you can see that how these are nice. They're nice, the cardstock firm counters. I did clip the corners. I mean, why would you not? I did clip the corners, and you can tell that they actually look pretty darn good for the lighter cardstock type counters. So combat, let's take just a refresher on combat real quick. And if I can get this off my hand, I don't know if it's staticky in here today or what. Let's look at combat and the way that resolves. I'm getting the rule book out, so I want to step you through the examples in the rule book. So basically the way combat will work, in this case, these are 2 rifle squads, and the R means they are using rifles for their weapons with an attack value of 2 and a defense value of 4. So when a unit attacks another unit, in this case, the unit on the left is going to attack the unit on the right. And so you will roll your attack value, which is the number of dice you will roll. So here it's going to be 2d6 for this unit, and it will be the defending unit will roll 2d6 because that's their defense value. So you'll roll the dice, and if you'll pin a unit if the attacking unit rolls one of his die are higher than the defender's die. So if this guy rolled, let's say he rolled a 5 and a 2, and our defender rolled a 3 and a 1. So here the attacker has rolled 1 die higher. His highest die beats the highest die roll from the defending unit. So it's the 5 versus 3. So this would cause this target to become pinned. So we would flip it over, or flip it on its backside to show that it was pinned, because there's only one die roll beat. So let's say that this attacker then rolled, next turn maybe he rolls a 6 and a 4, and the defender rolled let's say a 2 and a 2. In this case, the firing unit's highest dice, the 2 highest dice beat the target's highest die. So in this case, he rolled a 2 and a 2, so 2 is his highest. These 2 beat that, so that would eliminate the unit in this case. And then if and going through the rule book here, that's a kill example. Rolling 6s, if the attacker were to roll 2 6s, then when the attacker rolls 2 or more 6s, if the firing player rolls 1 or more 6 than the target, then it's pinned. So in this case, to be pinned, this guy would have to roll a 6. And if the of course, if he rolled 2 6s and that's the highest, like in the previous example, the two highest die rolls beat the highest die of this defending unit. And then if this unit were rolling more, let's say that this unit was actually, and you can actually have this happen. You can get a point blank range bonus, which would allow you to throw an extra die. So if they were actually adjacent on the map, like this, oops, then the attacker could actually roll an extra d6 and then fire. So if he were to roll 3 6s on his 3 dice, and this guy rolled, let's say he rolled a 5 and a 3, then this target would be destroyed, because in this case the firing player has rolled 2 or more 6s than the target. So if he had rolled a 6 and a 3, he's still eliminated, because this guy, the attacker, has still rolled 2 d6s more than the defender, so that would be another kill. So it's kind of neat the way that the combat works. And this is just basic infantry fire. Like I said, there's aircraft, there's armored units, and there's different rules covering that. And we can look, there's some artillery, offboard artillery that can come in. And there's also some heavier artillery units like we saw in Operation Battle Axe. So that's a very quick look at the way combat works. I know I kind of stumbled through some of that, but you get the idea. And if you want to go back and look at some previous recordings I've done, I did do a playthrough of, the last one I did was Operation Battle Axe, where you can look at combat in a little more detail. So that's it. I just wanted to show you what Dark City Games has just released. It is more urban combat this time, urban warfare. So you're going to have these guys in buildings, and the terrain information is back in here again. So buildings add cover, and you know, the movement cost to enter is 1. So should be interesting. It should be an interesting little game here of Operation Barbarossa. Again, as with all the other games in the Combat Boot series, it's just a very quick playing game. It's you know, what I call a lunch break game. You can play this on your lunch break. It's that quick. Or I've said it before, if you're setting up a larger game, you're setting up World in if you're setting up World in Flames, while a couple of your friends are setting that up, a couple other guys can go over and just hammer out a couple of scenarios of this, and they'll be all done by the time the larger game is set up. But this game it's fun in its own right, so it's good just to play on its own. And again, the range bands are back. That's really neat. There's air combat, offboard artillery, really neat little system. Again, I hope to see more of these games come out from Dark City Games. Go check out their website. They do run sales. You can go check on their website. They'll announce, buy 2, get 1 free type sales sometimes. I think that's what it is. So drop by, take a look, and grab one of these. They're really fun little games. As always, I hope you appreciated this first look at Operation Barbarossa. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing and liking the videos. That helps me to do more of these things. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you back here next time.